Did the fact that Polish Legends Allegro is an anthology of short films rather than feature movies contribute to the fact that this adaptation of old legends to the near future has been so successful? What is a short film? Simply put, it's a complete film condensed into a shorter length. This succinct definition accurately captures the essence of short films and is widely known. Short films have their roots in the early days of cinema, with filmmakers experimenting with the medium in the latter half of the 18th century. Despite nearly 2 centuries of filmmaking experience, short films are an ideal platform for exploration and innovation today. The short film is distinguished by its difference from feature films. According to Edgar Allan Poe's philosophy of composition, good and excellent quick should have what is known as artistic element totality, or the unity of effect. This is because short films rely on intensifying sensation for the viewer to perceive the entire message. The famous French director, Jean-Luc Godard, remarked, "In a short film, there is no time to think," which fully captures the idea that an intensified experience dominates the form. In this video essay, I will examine Polish Legends Allegro, a series of short films in the new media fantasy genre, as a case study. Specifically, I will consider whether the success of the adaptation achieved by Legends of Poland Allegro was influenced by the fact that it is a series of short films instead of a feature film. Word begins with Allegro, which represents the Polish entity that financed the production of the series. It is an anthology of short films in the new media fantasy genre. Dragon, Twardowski, Operation Basilisk, and Jaga. Richard Raskin, a renowned theorist of short fiction, believes that stories satisfy our need for meaning and help us make sense of the world. These ideas resonate strongly in the short fiction series, Polish Legends, which gives new meaning to old folk messages. These timeless myths have never been adapted in such an avant-garde manner. As a result, the series has become immensely popular, with viewers watching the episodes more than 20 million times on YouTube. The series' success can be attributed to the fact that each installment is a paraphrase of the source rather than a literal interpretation, and the creators have taken creative liberties to distance themselves from the source material. This approach allowed them to portray relics of ancient times as modern-day myths and expand each legend into a connected and intertwined story that revolves around the struggle between good and evil. The films in the series form a whole, with the central character breaking into Hell's computer and releasing various demons in human form, giving them earthly and supernatural powers. However, the ruler of Hell, Baruta, tries to restore the old order by causing suffering, which the protagonist, Twardowski, prevents. Each episode is based on a different legend, which chronologically creates a new potential for an overall story that is more effective than a single feature film. Film theorist David Bordwell's concept of the attenuated gap is at play in the series, where each episode hints at the viewer's conclusions, which form a coherent story when viewed together. Despite the lack of connection between the parts, the series' narrative structure gradually reveals the overarching story, making each episode a complete experience contributes to a larger whole. My favorite part of the series is the last one, Jaga. It possesses the qualities Edgar Allan Poe highlighted in his work, the unity of effect. Its brief form enables a fuller experience of the desired effect. The short film's intensity is owed to its brevity, as it packs a single showdown between the forces of good Jaga and Hell, Satan and the special military unit sent to capture Jaga, into 12 minutes of action. Scientists say that the tendency to tell stories to each other has accompanied humanity since prehistory, when the spark of consciousness and long-term memory began to distinguish it from the animal kingdom. What is true of storytelling in general also applies to short fiction. The Art of the Short Fiction Film, by Richard Raskin. In his work, Dr. of Aarhus University in Denmark, one of the most brilliant and active short film theorists. He distinguished 7 parameters that constitute the characteristics of the short film. To trace them, I will deconstruct a short film Jaga, Polish Legends, regarding their occurrence. Dr. Raskin's thesis is that the short film is not just a condensed version of the feature film, as even the narrative is conducted differently. This form does not require long dialogues, colossal conflict, or a developing character. Raskin has turned everything upside down by suggesting that these fundamentals are no longer as important in a short film as in a long movie. Raskin's first parameter is what is known as focus on character. And yes, it is clear from the beginning that Jaga is a leading character, extraordinary and mythical. The best short films usually make it clear from the outset whose story they are telling, a trait you might call Raskin's character focus. Cause, another Raskin parameter. In an on-screen story, the character's decisions must influence how things unfold. The gameplay becomes more attractive to the viewer when things happen causally rather than independently. Jaga decides to fight. She doesn't give up in the face of the attack by a military unit sent by Rokita, the second devil at the top of Hell's hierarchy. But she also excels, not least in her showdown with the president of the Hellish Depths himself, Boruta. We also have an exciting connection to the other parts of the series when the gameplay becomes beyond this one shot, when the events unfolding in Jaga result from Twardowski's actions in the preceding claims. A common mistake of novice filmmakers is using the usual temporal succession in example, and then, as connectors between events, rather than cause and effect relationships. Richard Raskin. We encounter the diplomatic dance of cause and effect in all parts of the legends. The next stop is compliance and survival, the following parameter. Jaga is presented at once in all her character glory. In a film of this type, it is impossible to show the character arc gradually. Everything must be given at the very beginning and in a high dose. The behavior of the characters should be as unpredictable as it is consistent. Raskin number 4 is sound and image. The action should be as attractive to the ear as it is to the eye. The audio experience must be an integral part of the action, not just a background, so there is a dynamic interaction between sound and image, a kind of interplay. Another parameter is the point and its relation to some important object. A short film often has some physical element charged with the meaning necessary in the story's context. In this part of Legends, we are confronted with a gift that Boruta wishes to offer as a gesture of reconciliation with Jaga. It is a broom Jaga flew in the past as she is a witch. Boruta wanted to tempt her with this gift, but Jaga, taking advantage of the gift's power, used it to escape. Here we see perfectly how the motif of introducing an object with definite meanings can form the core of a character-object relationship. There is an excellent way to connect the external with the internal. Moving on to the next point in Raskin's hierarchy of parameters, we encounter what he called simplicity and depth. Paradoxically, short films that tell simple stories are experienced by viewers as profound because they leave an interior space for viewers to enter, explore, and construct meanings. Jaga contains some symbols. Simple yet profound in their purpose. Films full of twists or excessive detail are experienced as superficial, keeping the viewer at a distance. The last parameter is that of spareness and whole. In the name of the principle, less is more. It is for this that the short form should be given breathtaking economy. At the same time, when the short film ends, the viewer should feel it is complete.
Wolność. Tak niewiele żądam, tak niewiele pragnę, tak niewiele widziałem, tak niewiele zobaczę, tak niewiele myślę, tak niewiele znaczę, tak niewiele słyszałem. Tak niewiele potrafię.